Here we go. Day number 2. What are we talking about this week, Sherry?
Well, you kind of had a hint in one of those, the message from Pants.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
That was their clue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And not the bacon one.
Not the bacon one. No. The question is, if you sew fast enough, can you count that as exercise? That's the question that was posed to us this week.
I know.
If you sew fast enough, can you count that as exercise? All right, guys. So, Gail says we're dieting. Nah, just keep sewing faster. You got this. You got this. So, we're talking about fast and easy sewing projects this week and how to get faster our sewing if you want to. Kim, we have not given away the fat quarters away yet. Hold tight for theme number 3 because we'll be sharing that and a few other things going on at the shop, right? Don't let me forget, Sherry, because it's actually in the other room.
I probably need to go get that.
Do you want to go grab that real quick just in case? Okay, I would hate to have that. Do that. Cindy wants to know what your shirt says. We'll show you here in just a minute. It's an awesome shirt. Okay, so not a treadle machine. We are talking about getting exercise through sewing fast projects. That's my kind of exercise, right? So each day this week, the 3 at 3 contributors will be talking about fast and easy projects. And we'll be giving away, here we go, ba-boom, this. Somebody is going to be so excited. And I'll tell you, our marketing team, they printed out all your names. If you guys had made comments all last week, all of them are in a big old basket.
Do I need to get that
basket? The baskets, yeah. Kind of a big deal. All right. Yeah, it's a little bag of heaven, right? So this week, like I said, we're talking about fast and easy projects. And so I was thinking, what would I want to share? And I came across this pattern that I thought, oh my gosh, that looks like so much fun. I've never made one of these before. And it uses some kind of cool techniques. And I thought that, obviously I can't give away with how to do the whole pattern because it's a pattern, right? That is not from us, it's from someone else. And so we're going to share that with you here in a minute. But today I thought what I would do is kind of walk you through a few of the steps that if you were trying to get faster in doing this, then I've got some kind of ideas to help you out with that. All right. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about the perfect project to get you ready for summer. And that is a windsock. How many of you love to do windsocks? They are so much fun and they're so cute. Now, I've never made a windsock myself, but I've seen them and I've purchased them, but I've never made a windsock myself, which is pretty cool. Here's all the list of names, by the way, that we will be pulling from live.
There's so many.
Oh my gosh, there are so many. So, Miss Sherry, did you see the windsock?
Let me show you.
Woo! Here we go. This is the windsock that I'm going to share with you today. Isn't that cute? And it's all done with fabric. And this is a pattern that is by, well, she changed her name. It used to be Fat Quarter Gypsy, but now she goes by So Organized Designs. So this is the pattern I'm referring to, Festive Windsock Pop-Ups. All right, so here we go. And it's all done with fabric. And I decided that this would be like the perfect theme for the 4th of July. All right, so let me walk you through a couple of things that are found in the pattern to show you how you could change it up if you were trying to do something fast. All right. There are actually 6 fun designs found in this. And so they have like the patriotic one. There's one with hearts for like Valentine's, one that has flowers all over it if you wanted to do something springy, summery, And so they include a snowflake, a leaf, and an Easter egg, which I thought would have been really cute for Easter. And so this is done for applique, made for applique. Jennifer's asking, what is their purpose? Just for fun. People love to have windsocks hanging from their porches and let the wind just go through them. It's just a way of decorating outside. Something like this, I would absolutely have like at a barbecue picnic for during the summer would be a really cute way to decorate and let the wind just go through it. So it only took me actually just, I don't know, I probably from start to finish, I got it done in about 3 hours, right? So it wasn't too bad. But if we're talking about fast and simple projects, this is definitely one of them. But if you want to make it even faster, I have some tips for you. Okay. Tana says she puts little bells in them. Oh, that's a really good idea. And Dee is asking, are you using regular cotton or parachute material? And this actually is regular cotton fabric. Now, if you wanted to actually like spray it with a protective covering, you absolutely could, like a fabric protection spray. You could do that. I didn't have fabric protection spray on me, so I didn't.
Didn't have that in your pocket?
No, I didn't have that one in my back pocket, but there we go. And yes, Carol, we do sell the pattern, and I'll share that here in just a minute. Now, okay.
I'm taking another field trip?
Yep. Can you grab the other pattern? Because this was mine, and now the supplies that come in it are not in it because I used it for this. So yes, Deborah, it is washable. And it looks like someone said they like to hang them outside their camper. Oh, Christy says we hang them from our camper awning. I love that. So in here is actually a spring. Okay, and the spring comes with inside the kit. So it's a metal spring that you put in. And then it also comes with this little lobster claw that the ribbons can go through and for you to be able to hang from wherever you want to hang it from. All right. So how do you make something like this and make it simpler, easier, faster? Well, you do, and again, you could do it the way it's written too. But let's take, for example, that it has you putting in all these applique shapes first. So they did an example of like Easter eggs. So you're measuring the Easter eggs across this way and you're going a couple inches up and then you go another inch up and you do the Easter eggs and then you do another row of Easter eggs, right? And that's what I did here with the stars. Those are all appliqued on. You're using like heat and bond light, something like that, to be able to do it, and you're doing it as one full sheet. Well, it's not hard to do this. In fact, those of you with embroidery machines, you might even love doing your own kind of embroidery right here on the top as well. However, if you wanted to make it even faster, because that's what we're talking about this week, fast and easy projects, then find a really cute fabric that would be just as darling, like boom, boom, boom. Hello, you can't get cuter than this, right? This is fabric from Kimberbell's Red, White, and Bloom. So I think this would be darling fabric to do in place of this one. If you wanted to make it faster and easier, right? You don't have to do the appliques, but isn't that going to be cute on the very top of it? Or let's say you have fabric that already has stars on it. Maybe they're not the same size star, but think about how you can make it your own by creating one sheet that doesn't have the applique on it. You're just using the fabric to your advantage. So my next one I'm going to do is I'm going to do it with this fabric. And of course, this goes into a tube. And I think it's absolutely going to be darling, right? Okay. So thanks, Sherry. You're the best. So like I said, it comes with the spring, comes with the little tag that comes out of it. Comes with
Makes
the
you look like a
spring.
professional.
Totally.
It does.
And then this is actually taped. And what I want you to remember is that you do not open up the tape. You do not cut the tape until the very last step is when you cut the tape, which is kind of cool. The way it comes together is really amazing. So you keep the tape on there. This spring ends up popping up, and that's what gives you this. So this is hard, Sherry,
Yeah.
right?
I
And
wondered how you
stable.
did that. That is fantastic.
Yeah, pretty cool. And then it also comes with the little lobster claw right here. And it tells you how to add everything to it. So first way to make it faster, use cute fabric and don't do the appliques. Now, if you want to do the appliques, absolutely go for it 100%. If you want to create your own appliques with designs on your embroidery machine or even on your sewing machine that you want to applique, it's perfect, right? The other thing they do have you do is they have you back it with like shade flex or like Kimberbell fusible backing, some kind of woven interfacing that's going to give it a little bit more stability. So that's way number one. Way number two to make this faster is it actually has you do create your own bias strips for creating what they call strings, right? So where you would take like 1.5 inches, right? You fold it over, fold it in half again, sew down both sides, and you've created bias taped pieces that are coming up through here. A way to make it faster, though, is to skip that part and go with ribbon instead. So when I make this second one, I'm just going to use 2 pieces of ribbon. The same size that the pattern calls for, but think about when you can make substitutions like this, right?
That's a great one.
Yeah. So I used ribbon instead. Now, another thing to make things faster is to think about how you can use what you have to make something work even better, right? So for example, it has you putting these ribbons on, and you're going to put them so far apart on the inside of it. Let's see, you can see that these ribbons come through on the inside, and it has you pin the ribbons into place. And you stop like 1 inch to the top and everything. Anyway, so I usually hate messing with pins. If I don't have to pin something, I don't like to, because sometimes what happens is that you use a pin and it actually makes it a little more difficult to get it exactly where you want it to go.
It slows you down because you have to stop and take out the pin, because you do not want to run over that with your machine, because then you have to replace the needle.
No, it's like if you give a mouse a cookie, you know, and then this happens and then this happens, right? So rather than pinning it, think to yourself, well, what's another way that I could put it in place? If you read my mind and you've taken classes from me, you know that I love the Elmer's glue stick or a fabric glue stick. So that's what I did on this. It was like, oh, okay, I have to stop 1 inch above there. All right, so I'm going to put it here. I just ran a little glue stick down the back side of it, glued it into place. I will take an iron to it to go on top. It dries the glue really fast. It doesn't make it gummy when with the needle. And then after it's glued, you know it's in place. It's exactly where you want it to go. And then you simply sew a straight stitch down the center. Another way to speed things up.
Very nice.
Yeah. Absolutely. Lynn said you could use Kimberbell paper tape. Yeah, that's a good idea too. You could absolutely do that. So that's how I made that part faster. Let me think. That seemed like there was something else I wanted to say on that. No, probably not. Okay. Now, the next thing is, how do you make it faster to sew these, what do they call them? Like kite tails, right? How do you make the kite tails faster? Well, so what you do is you cut them a certain width, right? And by the length, it tells you all of those instructions in there. You fold it. So let me take this, for example. Oh, by the way, I didn't show you what I'm going to use for my kite strings, my kite tails, I should say, for my second one. This was really so much fun. Okay, so remember, I'm using this for my top. This is my second one. And these are the two pieces I'm going to use for my kite tails. So both of these are from the Kimberbell's Red, White, and Bloom collection as well. So I love the red on red tone, and it has really fun sayings on here, like watermelon, family, fire up the grill, sunshine, hot dogs.
This would be a cute
s'mores.
Father's Day.
That would be cute
With
for
the-
Father's Day with that. I love that. And then this is also from that same collection. So it has you cut these into strips, and then what you do is you place, let me do on this one, you might be able to see it a little bit better. You put right sides together, and then you stitch along here. Now, let me show you a little trick here. Okay, let's bring this down. Okay, so when creating tubes, so whether you're doing this project or any other project that requires a tube, one of the fastest ways that you can turn that tube right side out is doing this. So you have this right side up, you fold it in half with right sides together. You start here, but you leave one half of the tube open. You stitch your 1/4 inch seam allowance down here. And then what happens when you get to the end, you actually keep the needle down, you pivot on the sewing machine, so you turn it, and then you stitch here. So it's going all the way down and then across right here. Well, Sherry, what happens is when you do that, when you have that sewn, you can actually pull this out from both sides, place like a pencil tip right there, especially like if you want to use an eraser on a pencil. The eraser has a little bit of the grip, exactly. And then you just push it down into itself and you turn it right side out. So that's a really easy way to do that. It's going to turn those babies right side out really quickly. But then you've got a few more steps involved with this, right? Because now this is together just like that. You need to then press it, and then you top stitch around all the sides. Okay, so you can see that here. I always recommend when top stitching, you use the same color thread as your fabric, right? You can only imagine why I say that, because you just don't want the contrasting thread to stand out. I don't know, just a little tip from Kris. I don't want all my mistakes showing, right? So use the same color thread. So you could absolutely do it that way. Now, what if you were trying to do it even faster? Let me show you a faster way. It's not as nice and neat, I will tell you. So it kind of depends on what look you're going for. You can have a very clean look with doing it the way it is outlined, or you could do something like this, where I would take my fabric tail, fold it in half now with wrong sides together. So there's actually no turning anything right side out. We're not going to turn anything right side out. I would take it to the sewing machine, sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance right here. Now you have a fold here, right? I'd go all the way down. I would pivot. And now I would take it to the sewing machine and continue sewing. And yes, it has the fold still there. Okay, can you imagine what I'm going to do next?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's like going to be magic.
The fold is there. So you're sewing with the fold still there, right? And yes, Sable, you could use a serger as well, which would make it even faster and easier. I really like that. So yes, I totally agree with that. But if you didn't have a serger and you were going all the way around, you would still sew with your 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then you could do one of two things. You could run a pair of scissors along that fold and just go zoop. and it would cut that fold. And now you have two sides, and I think I've got a sample here. Where did I put that? Oh, right here. You don't see really my thread because I use the same color thread, but you would have two edges that were frayed. So yes, it's faster, but it depends on if you like the frayed look or not. If you don't like the frayed look, then take the time to do it the way it's outlined in the pattern, right? Where you're doing right sides together, you turn it right side out, you top stitch. But if you're okay with the frayed look, which also adds its own element of interest, then simply, fold this in half, put wrong sides together, sew down 1/4 inch on the raw edge side, but turn around and don't even worry about the fold. Just continue that 1/4 inch stitch. Take your scissors, zoop, cut it off. Or you could even use pinking shears, right? You could use pinking shears and cut along the edges if you don't want to have a straight edge look. So let's take a look and see what happens here. Some of you may have a special blade on your rotary cutter that has pinking shears.
That would make it even faster.
It would make it even faster. Absolutely. But that's kind of cute, right? You've got that pinked edge. So that's really kind of fun too. And again, it's a really fast and easy way to make your kite tails. So those are just some little tips I have. At the end of the pattern, it has you're inserting the spring into the inside. You end up cutting the tape from the inside and up it pops, and this is all put together. Yeah, Cindy, a rotary cutter with pinking shears would be perfect, right? So all of the measurements, dimensions are found in the Windsock pattern. Isn't that cute? So lots of different ideas here. Yes, let's see. Let's take a look at what you guys are saying. Patricia said you could use wide gross grain ribbon. Yeah. That would be another way to do it. Absolutely. Now, let's say you couldn't find ribbon that was this size. No big deal. Make it smaller. Add more tails. It doesn't have to be a certain amount of tails. You can choose that. So, in fact, it might be fun to have some other ribbons even mixed in with this.
And there are some cute ribbons.
So you could have ribbons and all of that in there too. So really, really fun. Let's see. Yep. Cheryl says use pinking shears to cut strips, use wide ribbon. Absolutely. Let's see. Oh, yes. Judy says if the width works, you could use jelly rolls. Absolutely. If the width doesn't work, you can use jelly rolls. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Because you can decide what you want it to be and just have fun with it. So I think, yep, Cheryl is right. It would be adorable to do ribbons and lace. So we do not carry the springs separately, but we do have it as a pattern, which is really fun. All right. So any other questions on this?
And I just can't believe how professional it looks.
Really?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes.
I just think it's so fun. It really was a fun project to make. And like I said, having it hang outside for a barbecue or something would or all summer long would be super cute. So, why not have a new project? I know you guys have a million projects, right? But we're going to talk about that here in just a minute as we talk about our brand new UFO challenge, which we're very excited about. There we go. And it's one of those things that is just too fun not to try. So, Christy, you're so sweet. She said, I thought it was Star Fabric. You did an awesome job.
Yeah, it looks very good.
No, it's all done. I did that on
this
the
part of
machine.
it too.
You know what was cool is because this comes together as one. Well, you have to actually stitch these on before it comes together as one. So in the directions, where did my little pattern go? Well, that was weird. Oh, there we go. Where did that go? It gives you, so you're cutting like 14 of these stars, and then it gives you one to cut where the 1/4 inch is actually built into it. So that way, and it shows you exactly where to put it on the theme. And then when you sew it together, it comes together as one. Isn't that cool?
That's why I said it makes it look so professional.
So that's how, this is actually a seam. This is a seam right there. So anyway, too fun. Let's see. Are you doing a kit like the red, white, and blue that you made? Well, we just might.
Always want to jump ahead.
I know. You guys are so good. You are so good. So, all right, guys. So we've done theme number 1 and theme number 2. What time is it, Miss Sherry?
It's 3:44.
No.